Alright, let's talk about something that's both bizarre and brilliant. Bradford's High Point building just got crowned the UK's best example of brutalist architecture. Now, personally, I think this is fascinating because brutalism is one of those styles that people either love or hate. It's like the architectural equivalent of Marmite. But High Point? It's got this weird, almost otherworldly vibe like something straight out of Blade Runner. And yet, somehow it works in Bradford. What makes this really interesting is how it contrasts with the city's Victorian architecture. All that buttery stone built on wool money. It's like these two worlds colliding. And yet, in a strange way, they complement each other. It's a detail I find fascinating. How something so out of place can also feel like it belongs. Now let's dive into the backstory because it's wild. High Point was designed by the John Brunton Partnership and completed in 1972. But here's the kicker. It was built to be bomb-proof. Yeah, you heard that right. This thing was constructed during a time when IRA terrorist attacks were a constant threat. If you take a step back and think about it, this building isn't just a piece of architecture. It's a time capsule of a turbulent era. What many people don't realize is that brutalist buildings often have these hidden layers of history. They're not just concrete monoliths. They're responses to the world around them. High Point is a perfect example of that. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. By the 90s, the building was vacant, seen as a symbol of Bradford's decline. It stood empty for 25 years. A brutalist beast left to decay. In my opinion, this is where the story gets really compelling. Because instead of demolishing it, they renovated it. Now it's fully occupied, repurposed as flats. This raises a deeper question. What does it mean to preserve these controversial structures? Is it about nostalgia, practicality, or something else entirely? What this really suggests is that brutalism isn't just about aesthetics, it's about adaptability. High Point's revival isn't just a win for architecture. It's a statement about how cities can reinvent themselves. The Telegraph called it the cream of the brutalist crop, and I have to agree. But what makes this really interesting is the way they described it. Looming over Bradford like something from a sci-fi movie, yet blending in with the Victorian edifices below. It's this duality that's so captivating. One thing that immediately stands out is how brutalism often gets labeled as cold or oppressive, but High Point challenges that. It's been restored, repurposed, and now it's thriving. From my perspective, this is a testament to the resilience of both the building and the city it calls home. And let's not forget the timing of its original construction. The Telegraph pointed out that High Point was built during Yorkshire's financial boom, but when the economy tanked, so did the building's fortunes. It's a classic rise and fall story but with a twist. Because now it's back on the upswing just like Bradford itself. This isn't just a story about a building. It's a story about cycles, of decline and renewal, of purpose and repurposing. What this really suggests is that architecture isn't static. It evolves with the times. High Point's journey from bomb-proof office block to modern apartments is a sage lesson in how we can breathe new life into old structures. So here's my closing thought. High Point isn't just the UK's best brutalist building. It's a symbol of resilience, adaptability, and the power of second chances. It's a reminder that even the most divisive structures can find new purpose. Personally, I think that's what makes it so compelling. It's not just about the concrete. It's about the stories we embed in it and the stories it tells back. So, next time you see a brutalist building, don't just see the harsh lines, see the history, the potential, and maybe even a little bit of hope. What do you think? Is High Point a masterpiece or a monstrosity? Let me know in the comments.